Today's guest is someone I have worked with, challenged, and pushed. Because I saw something in him before he saw something in himself. Today, millions hear him, but this is not about the voice. This is about the transformation behind it. Ahmad Haffar, welcome to the Hidden Code. Ahmad, let's jump straight into it. You were about 19 years old when you got into a car crash?
18 and a half.
18 and a half. Can you tell me what happened?
I woke up that morning, like any other morning. I decided that I wanted to watch a movie and have crispy chicken from a place in Tripoli, Lebanon. And I had enough money to do all of that. Went, bought the movie, bought the chicken, got home, sat down, put in the movie. I got a call from my best friend, Ahmad, bless his soul. He's like, me and my other best friend, Muhammad, are on the way to your house and we'll be there in 2 minutes. I'm like, what do you mean? I just got food. I'm going to eat. Like, I'm in the mood for that. I'm going to watch a movie. He's like, I don't care. Get the food, eat it in the car. We're going out. I'm like, where are we going? He's like, doesn't matter. 18 and a half. You're going to go out. Take the food with me. I go. We end up sitting like next to the beach area, Mina in Trablus in Tripoli. And then I get a text from, I'm literally giving this exclusive to you. If you Google anywhere about my accident, which has been covered a lot, you won't find this bit of info. I get a text from the girl I was dating at the time. This is why it actually happened. Who told me, come to Beirut right now. And I convinced the boys that we should go and that I would basically get them dinner in return because I wanted to see the girl I was seeing. So we go. Unfortunately, I don't end up seeing her because there's no GPS at the time, or we didn't use GPS at the time. By the time we got to Beirut, I had no idea how to get to
Okay.
We ended up in a street that's a one-way, and we were going the opposite way. And right next to us at the end of the street was a police station who were more than happy to see 3 boys going the wrong way in a one-way, stopped us on the side, and somehow let us go. They felt bad for us being kids. And to this day, I wish they didn't let us go. I wish they impounded the car, because if they did, then that wouldn't have happened. But they didn't. And on the way back, obviously, my friends were extremely angry at me for getting us in trouble by mistake. Obviously, we're all kids. And, the last thing I had with them as an emotion was they were pissed off at me. But luckily, towards the end of the trip, which is unfortunately the end of their lives, we made up and we were laughing and joking about it. And I was sleeping, actually. I was taking a little nap going back to Tripoli. I apologized to the girl that I couldn't see her, and everything was so normal. That's the weird part, is that everything was so normal. Like, all that was going on in my head is, I messed up, I pissed them off, I'm just a kid, and they're pissed off, they wasted their night, they drove for hours, they didn't get the food that I promised them, and then we're under the bridge.
So you had an accident?
Pretty serious one. 2.5 floors, almost 3 floors from the bridge to the valley.
What was the first thought that went to your head when you woke up?
The first thing that happened was, why am I in a standing position and not in a, this position on a bed? And it turned out because I was in a coma, they put you in a way where, I guess the blood flow or something, I don't know. It was like this. And I remember seeing my father and my brother wearing, hospital clothes, blue, to not give you an infection, and the thing on their face, and they were crying, especially my dad. That's when I initially woke up from the coma, which lasted around a month and 3 days. Then I went back in to sleep, and then I woke up in the room where my lovely mother looked me straight in the eye, who was flown from France to Lebanon because my sister was, I've got a few siblings. My sister was giving birth at the time, so my mom was with her in France. My sister's French. And she looked me straight in the eye and she's like, didn't I tell you this was going to happen? She did. She told me that was going to happen a week earlier. Legit. So
a week before
the accident, she said, I'm going to have an accident and I shouldn't leave Tripoli, my immediate city, while she's in France. But I did.
A mother's gut, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we can be a bit casual about it today. Time has passed. I
Oh
can
yeah,
see you being more comfortable talking about it. But
definitely. Especially with someone like you, who's not only someone I consider an icon in the city and someone who's done so much for not just me and but for so many. You're someone who's been through your own struggles and you understand the value of being in something like this and actually taking advantage of it and turning it into a good story, which is what I did. I built my entire career based on the fact that I actually have limited time on this planet, and I was aware of that from a young age. So
But Ahmed, usually when something like this happens, when you talk in hindsight, yes, it's a very different story. But when you're 18 and a half, 19 years old, and you go through something as traumatic as this, a car accident, losing two of your best friends in it, being in a coma yourself for over a month, people shut down.
yes,
Why did you not shut down? And instead, you chose to pursue the sound.
prior to the accident, I hadn't been very successful in academics or in school. And I had failed quite a lot. But I had also succeeded at making this song for an artist called Milhan Zain, who's very famous in Lebanon, a known singer that went so viral. I ended up working with Nancy Ajram, Elisa, and other Lebanese pop artists. And I knew when that happened, which was overwhelmingly positive at the time, I knew like I had something. So when the accident happened, I actually saw it as an opportunity to stop academics and pursue music full time.
But so
So
if you say that it was something to do with you not being good with your studies, basically.
yeah,
So was you finding your voice more of a survival or was it more of you pursuing a talent?
it was the complete and utter and unabashed acknowledgement of the fact that I have a limited amount of time on this planet and that my body is mortal. I was given that lesson in a severely undeniable manner. I had to rework my physical motor skills, such as my hands and my legs, to physically walk and move. During those times, and the rehabilitation of my motor skills and my motor capabilities, I picked up a guitar. And when I heard that guitar strum for the first time after months in recovery, it did something that no words, no poetry, no books can truly cover. Because in my heart, I was all about creation and I had all the time in the world to create. I mean, waiting for you right now to start this podcast, I just wrote a melody. I didn't even try. Now it's stuck in my head. I just made it.
So how did this shape your relationship with sound and music?
It got me even closer because it helped me. Look, imagine this. You got a doctor that comes in. They give you that look. You give them that look. You know what their look means. They know what your look means. Their look means you need to get up and start walking again. Your look means I don't want to go through the pain. In that split second, you need to find something that gets you out of bed. To me, that was music.
Okay.
I remember putting the phone, my mom's phone at the time, because my phone broke in the accident. I put a song on YouTube that just had energy and it's stuff I like. And then as I hear that piece, I wouldn't even like get out of the bed when it plays. I would wait for the time the drums kick in. I'd be like, "Bun, dun, ba, dun, 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 tch, tch,
Do you
dun,
remember
dun,"
the song?
and then I have no idea.
Okay.
I was under so much drugs.
Well, the legal ones.
Yeah, the legal ones.
All right.
yes.
And while doing that and while pursuing your passion for music and sound, there was a phase where you were just doing it because you wanted to do it and you were offering it for free.
Yes, I was.
Did you ever feel like, you were being taken for a ride
Yes.
because you were doing it for free?
Yes.
So why did you keep doing it for a while?
I developed this mindset early on that like business is really about relationships. And there are people out there who, when you don't have much to show but a lot to offer, it's best to show it first and then tell them you want something for it. So when I had no portfolio, and I had nothing to really show other than a few projects with Elisa, Nancy, blah, 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 which are publicly available and people can Google and find out what I did when I was a kid. It was the mix of the storyline, the mix of the natural talents, because just like academics, I never studied music. So I would go and be like, all right, listen, I can do anything you want, any emotion, and I can make it in 5 minutes. What a statement for a 20-year-old, right?
So at which point did you come to Dubai then?
At 19 and a half. It was a year after the
So
accident.
you're after the accident, you're in Dubai. Tell me, what was the first 30 days for you like in Dubai?
Oh my God, it was incredible. It was like, you know, when you're in love and you know that that woman's gonna be your wife, like you just know it. I knew Dubai was gonna be my home. I mean, I didn't know one day I might become, you know, known as the voice of Dubai and all this. I didn't know that fully, but I knew it was gonna become my home. So here's the story. Here's the story that you've never heard before for Jigar Sagar. By the way, I love his name and branding and the music. Have you heard his music? I wonder who did it. Anyway, so I came here and I was getting a job like anybody, right? My brother Hassam has been residing here for well over 20 years now. So my mom wanted me to come here. I have a bunch of siblings. So I'm here and I'm supposed to get a job to sell music CDs in Virgin Megastore, true story. And I was rejected from 3 different branches for being overqualified. I actually have the report. Apparently, my sales skills are too good and I might destabilize the team word by word and my energy and my whatever. So my mom was having a fight with my brother and I still remember this word by word. Okay, my son's a genius. What do? I throw him in the garbage? I still remember that one sentence. And then my brother wore his clothes. He was going to the gym and he saw an old friend of his that owns a company that does music playlists, basically. By complete coincidence. This is 2 days before basically my visit visa was running out. He came back and he's like, literally, get dressed. You have an interview in the next 30 minutes. I'm like, what? It was 9:30 p.m. So I go, I do the interview, I get hired on the spot. 3 months in, 4 months in or so, I decide I want to be on my own. And the owner of that company, shout out to him. He's so amazing. He's like, I'm going to keep your visa. And then he kept the visa. And then I went and I basically was having a cup of coffee with a friend who told me about Sonic branding. And I ended up doing his company many years later. And it's very famous, Sonic Identity. I'm not going to say who he is, but he put in the idea of making like a music signature for brands. And when I was like, this is all within 30 days, by the way, more or less. I'm talking about how the succession of the story came. But after I got the first gig and all of that, it was around a week and a half to be exact when I was in JBR standing next to where Moulin d'Or, not Moulin d'Or, what's the name of that place? The one that makes the nice buns. I forgot the bread thingy. I don't know what it's called. But there's a toy store place and then there's that bread place next to it. And a little bit there's like the little fountain thingy and PF Chang's. And I remember that I was standing next to the kid's place. My brother and his wife and my mother and his daughter, who was around a year and a half at the time, or less, Celine, wanted to enter the toy store. She was crying her heart out. And then I'm like, you know, there. And I was also on the crutches because my legs weren't, this foot wasn't fully healed at the time. It was still broken. And I see an incredible amount of Emiratis coming towards my area. But one of them had a golden color while the rest had white. And I was very curious as to why. And I'm a very curious guy. So while I went to inquire with my mom, she was a bit busy with the kid crying. And that incredible human being turned out to be Sumo Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who I saw and saw me the first week and a half I was in the city. And my mom looked at me and she said, "You belong here."
Well,
That is genuinely what happened.
Listen, I mean, it's not every city where you find the leadership walking around, and you know, it does leave you with a thought. Like for me, it was his words at my graduation ceremony that I look forward to seeing you working for the UAE economy, and never thought much to it at that age and time. But yeah, like looking back, you understand the value of maybe that vision, maybe that value of.
It was a
words.
monumental moment for me.
Exactly.
As I grew. That memory, it never
sticks.
left.
It sticks.
You dude, it's been over 11 years since that memory now, and I still remember. You know.
I mean, you know, when you come here and you have a base, you said you have your siblings here, and that sort of made it, and that made it easier for you to come here at that age.
Yes.
But when you were leaving Lebanon, the fact that you've gone through a lot of trauma. The fact that you've gone through that healing process, the fact that you haven't even healed properly yet. Why didn't you quit?
I didn't quit because I quite literally didn't have an option to. I had no plan B, I had no plan C. My plan A, B, C, and D were the same as the notes A, B, C, and D in music. All I had was music.
Is it true then that confidence doesn't necessarily come from anything else but facing that uncertainty and getting through it, and it just builds your confidence.
Absolutely. And you have to have a little bit of delusion in there. If you don't have a little bit of delusion, if you don't have a little bit of insanity, just a little spark, I'm not saying go insane. If you don't have that little spark of this could be, I mean, think about it this way. I sit down behind a keyboard, right? I have no idea what I'm going to make, but whatever I make, 80 to 90% of the time, and you can easily fact check this, goes viral. Whatever I do, whatever I touch, I make a melody, it's gonna go viral because of how fitting it is, how well suited it is. Yes, it's a lot of experience along the way, but when I initially started, it was the unknown that excited me. Now I have a process, I have a few businesses, of course, nowhere near this incredible man, not even 1% by the way, but it is what it is. But the thing is, I have a vision now. Now I have a vision. Now I have a vision as an entrepreneur. Now I have a vision as an artist. Now I have a vision as a human being. Now I'm filled with love and excitement, and that just wasn't there. It was more fear than anything. But that fear is what I used to solidify. I broke it down. It's like gold with other materials. And then I melted down the gold. I got the pure stuff and I put it in a direction and then I shaped it to something stunning. And that thing is me today.
Amazing. And, I want to talk a little bit about mentorship. And not many people know out there that we have a relationship in terms of business mentoring, right?
Absolutely.
Now, just from your own perspective, before you got to know me and before, we got into a mentoring relationship, how were you different? And be honest about it. How did you see yourself?
I'm more than happy to be honest. You are truly incredible as a human and as a friend and as a brother in all three. Because you never let the business experience that has built you to overcome any of those three elements, whether as a human, whether as a friend, or whether as a brother. You merged it in a way that is the same way Celine Dion sang the Titanic track the first time.
How were you different before it? Before this? I mean, you were living your life, you were doing it, you were driving your Ferrari, and, you were having a good life.
It's a plastic one. You go like this. I don't really have one. So
he does. So the question over here is, it's not like you didn't have a success story. It's not to say that you didn't have a great portfolio of good brands behind you by this point where I've come into your life. And it's not to say that you haven't met a lot of people who could have been possibly those mentors along the way. But the question I want to ask is, just before you met me, who were you?
Someone who was a bit more on autopilot than someone with a grounded plan that deserves funding and strategy and effort and innovation. I was someone who knew how to start ideas, build them slightly, but I didn't know how to bootstrap them correctly or build the right connection between my emotions and my business self to be most effective in my day-to-day
What
life.
mindset were you in that pushed you to want to have a mentor? Because you've had a journey, you've met some wonderful people along the way. I know some of them, and some of them are very talented, and they could have been good guides in your life. But what was it that you were feeling that you wanted a mentor or someone just to talk to? What was it?
It was the ever-changing landscape. Let me put it this way, if you don't mind. Mindloop, my audio production company, it was suffering from a lack of innovation. Most people that I spoke to had nothing to offer. Not from a technical perspective. Technical, I know how to do the technical. Yeah, I know my job and I know how to run my company from the technical creative side. It was more of the business from an outer point of view that is not only too subjective to that industry. I didn't have any of that. That's just from the Mindloop side. The school on the Field Academy, I made up that school from nothing. Now 84 student plus in one of the programs, and the other program, it's new. It's only 6 students for now. But the main one, the voiceover one, over 80, right? And I got it there. But I taught most of them because I didn't have teachers at the time. But it was so overwhelmed by a lack of a business sense where the talent sold. The product sold. I had no issue with the product. But how do you scale it? How do you get more people, more teams? You get funding for it. And how do you separate? This is what you've done. You've helped me. This is what he's amazing in. separate money from a necessity in life to a number. Just a number. It is literally just a number. And you made it clear of, even though I'm not
I
comfortable.
mean, I like it. Listen, I like it that you're putting it this way right now, but I also remember some of your first initial reactions when I was talking to you and I was giving you my version of
Oh, I was terrified.
brutal,
I was
honest
terrified, yes.
truth.
I was terrified.
So realistically, what was going through your head the first time? Not you can look in hindsight and say, "Oh yeah, now it makes sense." Blah blah blah. Right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here. But what was that first thought?
That first thought is, I met someone who is as good at what he does as I am good at what I do. That was truly the first thought that I had about you. And I could see all of the things that you're good at, I am not good at, especially from a business point of view. And I'm so willing to learn, to grow, because every day, whether it's the voices for the Dubai government you hear or the music identities I've done, those are things that represent me best as an artist and as an innovator in that space. But when it comes to the business, a lot of the people that I met who do business, who are, millionaires or blah, 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 very rich, very powerful, whatever people, there wasn't a spark between me and them in the sense of I wanted to learn from them that I not only do not know, but I cannot imagine. See, what you did is that you didn't mentor in the sense of, oh, you put me in the right headspace, but rather you imagined what I couldn't imagine. Like the idea we're currently working on, which we cannot talk about, is so innovative and unique and new. And yeah, it's AI, but it's not AI, and it's not really AI, but it is, but it isn't. And it's so needed. And when you saw that, it took you less than 20 seconds to say, yeah, we're building this, we're funding this, we're going to make this happen. And then maybe we might sell it for a few $100 million. And I'm like, okay, buddy. But the thing is, this guy doesn't just talk. He doesn't say something. I've done multiple deals with him now that each took, I think, 2.5 minutes. That's how serious he is. And all I had to do was do a good job once. Incredible. So,
You talk about the willingness to learn, but then when I sit on this side as a mentor to many people, not everyone's willing to take the feedback.
Absolutely not.
So, because I want to flip the table a little bit and say, what is it about you that you accepted the feedback then?
It wasn't about me. It was more about you. I am known.
No, I'm me myself in front of
but
all
that's
of
the
those other
thing.
people too, but not
Yes.
everyone takes that feedback the same way. So the
True.
question over here is, what was it in about you that you really wanted to not just listen to the feedback, but you wanted to act on it? Because everyone listens to feedback. Very few act on it.
I wanted to act on the better version of me that doesn't yet exist, that you happen to be the perfect mentor for. Simple as that. It is driven by God, by faith, by excitement, by great energy, and by one of the most unique personalities I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, which is you. And a friend who I may call and hope to call a brother for literally over 60 years. And that is truthfully not how I feel about a lot of people. And it is beyond. See, when you like someone in a way that exceeds money and it exceeds connection and it exceeds opportunities, you spiritually enter a place where you have a certain level of respect for that person that is unabashed and unbiased and immovable. Nobody can tell me anything about you or your past or your future that can move the needle an inch about what I think of you. And I cannot say that about
I
just
think
everybody.
it boils down to each one of us to truly be who we are for the
Yes.
world to see who we are, right?
Precisely.
And I think everyone's different with everyone else. And my relationship with you is one where I see that, yes, while I may be coaching you from a business coach perspective as a mentor, but then there's also a lot that I learned from you. And reveal to everyone that Ahmed here has done one of the first personal branding sonics, and that happens to be for me. So Ahmed, when you were doing the sonic brand for me,
For
what
Jigar
was
Cigar, yes.
for the brand Jigar Sagar? What was going through your head?
I've never done this. I've done 130 brand sonics, but never a personal. I'm not sure that it even exists yet. I haven't done thorough research, but from basic research, I couldn't find any examples. And I realized that you had packed so much in your personality and character, both from nature and then from your development and your success and your storyline, that to get all of that into a 4-second signature sound So many layers. Like imagine, you know, when we have wafers, sometimes wafers are like, okay, you've got the wafer, then the chocolate, then the wafer, then the chocolate, but they're so condensed. There's like 30 wafers in there, but to you, it's tiny.
Yeah.
You could be like, oh, this is 3 layers. So I had to really put in 30 layers of you in a 4-second sound.
So if you had
And-
to recreate it, what would it be?
It would be exactly the same. Because the thing is, what's amazing about you that people don't get to see enough online, and I'm gonna make sure he gets there, don't worry guys, is that you really truly care. Do you know how rare it is for someone who is very well off, by the way, mentally, emotionally, and mula, all of them, to actually want to give, to actually want to help? You know, on the final pitch, in my humble opinion, even though I love all of the people who present that, I love all your colleagues there, but to me, you're the most charismatic, easily.
I think, listen,
Easily.
charisma is one thing, but I would like to believe that this world is wonderful. This world is a beautiful
is.
place.
It is.
I truly believe I'm awesome.
Yes, you are.
But it also
Look at that.
comes with
Not
the
only
fact.
that is not just, let me tell people, that is not just confidence right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is not just confidence. See, when you hear this voice in Dubai Opera, Coca-Cola Arena, Dubai International Airport, or anywhere in between, you'll realize I designed the voice in a very specific way, for a very specific purpose, for a very specific client, being the Dubai government. This man has designed a very specific personality, a very specific character, because he has brains and IQ that you cannot even imagine. And not from a way that he's better than anybody. He's not better than anybody. He's better at what he does than everybody. The way I'm better than most people, actually almost all of them, at what I do. It's really that simple. It's not, oh my God, they're so, full of themselves. It's not full of myself. I've done the music for 135 brands. More than 500 million people, with a B, by the way, know my music, whether it's Taj, Rixos, or endless brands. You can Google me and figure out which brands I've made the music for. And you'll come to an understanding that it is a combination of who we are as people, as talents, and at the same time, the understanding of our mortality, that we're not spending here forever. This man didn't waste a minute to get to where he got. Yes, he's a personal friend. Yes, I personally am very biased to him. Yes, I love the guy. But I'm not just saying that. There's nothing happening behind the scenes. He's not sliding me some. No. This guy deserves all the recognition he gets.
You gotta stop paying me, mate. If you're gonna say such nice things about me, you might as well pay me as well.
Well,
Listen,
I guess it could be that.
you
way.
know, there's a reality as well. There's a reality that, including yourself and many people that are listening to us, right? They have access to mentors.
Yes.
Look left, look right, and they know they have access to mentors. They know they have access to really intelligent people.
Yes.
People who can truly help them.
Yes.
And I understand your concern that not everyone out there is willing to just give. And it takes a lot to give. It's actually harder to give.
It's exhausting. Yes.
It's exhausting, but if you love it, it gives you energy.
It drives you.
So for me, it's the opposite. I don't get exhausted giving, right? It drives me. It gives me more energy. It gives me fulfillment of my purpose.
Yeah.
That I'm able to empower someone to become a better entrepreneur. Full stop. Now, why do you think? Because you've been there, right? You've been someone who had crossed corridors, been on tables with some of the most elite people out there, yet you did not have a mentor. And that's why I'm asking you this question, because you probably understand that psyche better than me, because I just don't get it. Why do these people not reach out to the mentors out there?
I think
Why not tap into them?
because everybody is afraid. I mean, there's a lot of fear going on that people disregard. A lot of people want to get to a certain place, but they want to get there for the wrong reasons. Life is not money, A. You have a lot of it, more than most people actually on the planet, and it hasn't changed you one bit. I've seen this guy close massive deals. Nothing changes him.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like saying, you know what I mean? You know, just to be very frank with you, we can pick up the phone right now and do this exercise.
Yeah.
Do you got your phone on you?
I do have my phone on,
Right.
yes.
Let's put it this way. So you go to, what do you use? Claude, GPT?
I am, well,
Gemini.
almost nothing. I do use ChatGPT, but I
Do
don't
you
have
use
the app.
Google?
I use Google, yes.
Right, let's Google it.
Okay, let's Google
Okay.
it. Let's Google it.
Let's Google
Yes.
it. If you have, let's put it this way, $10,000.
Okay.
That's not a lot of money, is it?
No.
Okay, you said no. If you have $10,000,
Mm.
what percentile of global wealth are you already?
So 10,000 USD in net worth.
Yep, and what percentage of richness am I in, right?
And net worth at age 32, what percentage am I at?
Of global population.
Am I at of the global population? Okay, let's write that. Okay, according to Google, with a net worth of 10,000 USD at age 32, you are approximately in the top 20 to 48% of the global adult population.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's change that number to $100,000 now.
Let's change that number to $100,000 now. Here we go. Let's put 100K here. Okay, now we are part of the 10 to 15% of the global adult population.
Let's put in $1 million now.
A lot of money. All right. Let's put in.
I mean, you do charge that kind of money for your branding.
Let's not disclose that, Jigar. So if we put.
Well, we should disclose it because talent deserves payment.
It does. It really does. $1 million USD at the age of 32 equals 1.6% of the global population.
Do you want to keep going? $10 million.
I'm not worth $10 million.
Put it in there.
Okay, fine.
I know you're worth way more than $1 million. And the car you drove in and probably worth more than that, but okay, fine.
So 10 million would be top 0.03 to 0.05.
Do you now understand why I'm grateful and why I tell you and anyone else that
To be grateful.
To be grateful? Because I think what people don't realize, especially in a city like Dubai, where we are surrounded by wealth, the density of wealthy people in a small city like Dubai is
Incredible.
quite high, right?
It's incredible.
And it gets a bit annoying when you drive in your Ferrari and you have the special edition besides you, and then you have a Bugatti next to you, and then you'll have a special one-off somewhere
Your
else.
296, they just released the speciale version.
Yep, there you go, right?
Yeah, I know you're thinking about it. Don't think about it.
No, I'm not thinking about
Good.
it.
Don't
I'm
think
not
about
thinking
it.
I'm good with what I got.
You have something incredible.
Yeah, I'm good with what I have.
I have something for him, but it's not done yet. When I do, I want to show it to all of you guys. Anyway.
All right. So we live in a society, we live in a world where for some reason we're always looking to left and right. And when you live in a city like Dubai, you look left and right and you
Yes.
don't even realize. I mean, the fact that even if you had $10,000, I mean, that's net worth, guys.
Yeah.
That means if you have an iPhone, a MacBook,
car.
a little bit of furniture.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you have a car, I mean, come on, car is way more than $10,000. We already crossed that $100,000 barrier. So if you have a car, you're already what? You are in the top 20% of the world's
of the
wealth.
planet, yes.
Do you understand what that means?
I don't think people do. I think people are too surrounded by their own surroundings. Listen, even I am a victim of that. I mean, I remember many, many times until I met you and you straightened my head. I remember reaching certain goals in my life and I'm like, this is not good enough. But rather I changed that mindset and I said, this is incredible, but I am able to do more in a way that I have to continue proving to myself that I can bring more value to my clients. I can bring more value to the market, to people. That's the change of mindset.
I'm going to interrupt you here because you talked about bringing value to the people. Now,
Yeah.
what I also know, because of what I do in life, is you can't give value without visibility.
Definitely.
And you are an amazingly talented person.
Thank you.
Right? But at some point, you were not visible.
Yeah.
And something switched. I don't know if it's the personality switch because I didn't know you from before.
Yes.
I've only known this version of you.
Yeah, it's a pretty good version. I like this one.
I mean, I don't know if you were, hiding in the blanket prior to this version, but where did the shift come from? So where did you decide that while your talent existed, your visibility didn't, and you had to do something about it?
When, people usually say that other people push them to do that, and I will fully admit I had a lot of people push me to be more visible, but it was one particular night when I was in the office in Mindloop Studios, my audio production house, before the school even existed, by the way. So I still had my first company only at the time. I was at the office, I think around 1:30 in the morning, and I was working on composing something for a client. And I was exhausted. At the time, I'm talking circa when I was 25 to 28 years. So I would say, 2019-ish. I was, before Corona, I was in the office. I was composing, yes. And then I remember going down to the fifth floor, which is where because we're on the roof in the CNN building. I went down to the fifth floor where the bathroom is, and I had to basically more or less shower my body there, because I had realized at that moment that I haven't been home in almost 48 hours, and that I've been sleeping on the couch in my own office, like in my room in my office. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't know, it was just one of those moments where the autopilot switched off, and I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, the hell are you doing? Like, okay, fine, you're getting there, fine, but what are you doing? Like, people should know that someone like you is out there, because if you look at all the competitors I have, which aren't that many anyway, in any of my businesses, first of all, I'm 15 years younger than any of the owners there, at least, maybe 15 to 17 years younger, give or take. I'm 32. Yeah, they're almost 50, all of them. I am very diverse. I don't do one thing. I do 5 things, while they sort of do one thing more or less. Again, people are welcome to do their own research, but this is facts. The third one is whatever I want to do and I put my mind to it, and the talent or the core of the talent pre-exists, it is so easy for me to do it. Whether it was comedy, emceeing an event on stage, voices of what I've created with the unique tones specifically for Dubai government and media office, or music of any sort, sonic branding of any sort. So when I looked at all of this, I'm like, wait, I'm not doing one thing here. I'm doing 5 different things. Yes, all of them are hands-on, and that's where I
Why
realized...
bother being? You were doing it. You were doing it for a while, but all of a sudden you decided to go visible. Why?
Because who do you know who does all of that?
Yeah, but that point was valid prior to you wanting to be visible too.
True. But I realized that as I was approaching, like when the number
What made you
3,
realize that?
knowing I'm gonna turn 30 at some point pretty soon.
Okay, so is it your age? I mean, is it your closeness to mortality? Why? Why bother? Because, and listen, you know why I'm asking you this is because there are many people out there who are amazingly talented,
Yes.
way more talented than me and you, right? You said something earlier that, I mean, I'm very talented at what I do, and there's very few people who can do what I do, blah, blah, blah. The reality is that there are very few people that you know of who are
Yes.
more talented than you.
Yeah. Or who are already in the business that are trying to
exactly.
do what I do.
It's all about visibility, and
Yes.
for me, it's all about not necessarily creating competition for you as such, but empowering people with that talent to be more visible, right? And to do something about it and run a business.
I can't agree more. Actually, during that time, my visibility or wanting that visibility was to an extent to give to people. I mean, nowhere near the level you're at. But why did I open On the Field Academy? What was the point of the school? Just more money?
No, that's okay. So why did you start teaching?
I started the school because I had an infinite amount of people tell me that we want to try out at Mindloop Studios. We'd put them behind the mic, we'll give them some scripts, and they'd be horrible. But some of them had genuinely beautiful voices, or that kind of energy where you could tell they could terraform into a voiceover. But a voiceover is something that is extremely complex. You need to know the business,
Yeah,
different
it's
types.
technical.
It's a whole
it's not
thing.
as simple as mimicry.
It's not like, grab a script and say a few words. No, it's a whole thing. And, I built that program on a random Sunday, literally, within like 4 to 6 hours. I just sat down and I created the program. It just existed. I brought it into existence from a higher existence, whatever. And then when I started teaching it, I then, worked on it, made it better, blah, blah, blah. By the 12th, 13th student, I had a real product. But the point of that product was everyone who was trying to teach voiceover was more of a classroom, very old school people, very dinosaurish techniques, and very like just do this and do that and breathe this way and breathe that way, and it was sad. So I had to innovate for the young people, even people that were older than me. I mean, like we had a lady, not to say her name, she's 67. Not say her name because I forgot. How do I say? Megan, who is 67 years old, Irish, might you, who was like, oh, I want to be a voiceover. 67 years old.
Why did you bother buying a sinking studio? Because let's come back to it, right? Let's hit reality. You're talented, and I know the answer. The answer is your talent, but then let's hear it from you. Why did you bother picking up a struggling studio, my friend?
I was 20.
Don't blame it on your age.
Okay.
I mean, come on. On one side, you just said I was 19 and I was a prodigy and I've done this and I've done that. And now you want to use your age against you? Oh, my competition is 50 years old. And now all of a sudden, oh, I was 25. That's why I was making that mistake. No, you can't play both sides, my friend.
No, I fell in love with it first. I saw its potential. Mindloop is 24 years old today. I'm 32. So I took over a company that is almost as old as me.
It was struggling.
It was very, very much struggling. Yes, it was not in a good place. And I had ideas that I strongly believed at the time from a technical point of view, if applied correctly, it can get the company out of its immediate troubles without anything other than persistence and quality. And it actually severely worked out. It worked out for a very long time until the market shifted, AI came, and now we're going through another shift. But that main shift, I mean, my P&L is right there. Anybody can see it. And I turned it from, very bad to very good. It's right there. It's audited.
So you were talking about talent, right?
Yeah.
And my theory on this is that your love and your passion for your talent made you buy that struggling studio.
I agree.
Okay. If that's the case,
That is the case.
Let's talk about your talent. Can you perform Dubai Opera?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dubai Opera. Please note, the use of mobile phones inside the auditorium is prohibited. No vaping, no cigarettes either. I used to vape, and I used to maybe get away with that.
Right? Etisalat?
Well, that one, many people do it. Move on to another one. Let's choose
Right,
the ones
okay.
where only I do.
Okay. Let's talk about Expo.
Dubai Expo 2020, Hayakum. In 1975, I don't really remember the scripts, but I remember the tone and I remember what I spoke about.
Let's shift it with a Sonic that I know you did very recently, Taj Hotels. Majid Al Fateh. Right. Moving on. Okay. Let's talk about the voice of Dubai. A part of it means UAE.
Yes, of course.
Because I know that even though you're a voice of Dubai, you've also done a lot of work for brands from other Emirates within the UAE.
Initially, yes. Within the past 2 years, it's been exclusively and only Dubai government, and that will remain the case for another 8 years or so.
Right. Yeah. And for private companies as well.
Yes.
Right. And when you talk about it from that perspective, there is this UAE mindset.
Yes.
That I like to deep dive into.
Yes.
In your case, at that age of 19 and a half, when you were entering Dubai, yeah, you had a family member here and, you had some support here who could guide you and help you navigate through the ways here, who could show you the way to Dubai Mall, and that the cafe that you were thinking about was Papa Roti's, by the way. We didn't want to break your chain of thought back then.
That's the one, Papa
But
Roti's. Really good.
Do you think Dubai built you, or Dubai gave you an opportunity to grow?
I would say a little bit of both. I would say there's a mix, because Dubai built me in the sense of resilience. It built me in the sense of pushing me to the max. And as Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum said, in Dubai, you don't walk, you run. It doesn't matter whether you're a gazelle, whether you're a tiger, you run, my friend.
What happens if you don't run?
Well, you sort of get eaten.
Get it
That's
done.
one. So I had to continue running. And I'm very, very lucky to be the age that I was when I came because I had all the energy in the world. I had all the purpose to innovate. The second part is the need for innovation. I believe I added a sparkle in the city, in the country, that was very much needed, that has become, as of today, undeniable. Of course, I'm not the only one who does what I do, but I guess I'm the one who got the most people to notice it, know it exists.
But what is it about Dubai that other cities don't reward? Because you've traveled the world, right? You've taken your talent around the world. You've been an MC at an events, many a places and many a cities and many a countries. What is it about Dubai that it's actually rewarding that other cities aren't?
The moon in Dubai is beautiful. The sun in Dubai is beautiful. The reflections in Dubai is beautiful. Me being in Dubai makes me beautiful. Dubai is beautiful. Look, you're talking about a city that, first of all, there's nothing like it on the planet. Second of all, most people who have been here 15, 20 years would say, I can't be anywhere else on the planet.
Why? Because I hear this a lot, but very few people can put words to that sentiment. I am
Let's just
here
say,
for 4 generations now, right?
Exactly. Let's just say there might be, we might have to cut this. There might be a sound to it explaining like an emotional piece.
No, I want to say it in words. I want you to say it in words because I come across many people who swear by Dubai, who swear by the UAE, and they have n number of emotions that they can articulate. But when you ask them why, very
It's
few
tough.
people
It's a tough place.
have been able to actually answer. Because I have a theory to it, by the way. My theory, I'm going to go first so that you don't copy my answer. Because it's a tough one.
Go ahead.
My theory is that UAE actually rewards speed, but it exposes hesitation.
Yes.
I think UAE is one of the most competitive places on planet Earth. And while that competition exists, it is also one of the places on planet Earth where the society, because everyone has come with a mindset to create,
Yes.
to achieve.
Yes.
They want to see you create and you achieve and they cheer you on, right? So while the world is competing, while there's massive competition in Dubai, that same competitor of yours is cheering on for you.
Yes.
Where do you find that
Nowhere.
elsewhere on
Nowhere.
planet Earth?
Nowhere.
That your competitor is running a race. You are in that race too. But you're cheering for your competitor and your competitor is cheering for you. And guess what? If you don't run, you're eaten.
100%.
So it's not that you win and everyone gets a participation trophy. No, there are winners and losers in Dubai. There are more losers and winners here than anywhere else.
Infinitely, yes.
But the reality is
By a big
that
margin.
you are constantly pushed, encouraged, and supported
Look, I mean,
to run. That's my theory. So you can't copy that answer. Now go for yours.
I will take the more artistic route, naturally.
Go for it.
A pearl happens to be pretty strong, not just beautiful. It's tough. You need quite a bit to get through it. And no matter what you do, a pearl never changes for anybody. A pearl evolves the way it wants to evolve. Now, I don't know if you know this. You definitely do, but I don't know if people know this. But Dubai was all about the pearls in the 1800s, in the late 1800s, 19. And there's a direct correlation to that with what we see today. I was driving recently on Sheikh Zayed, literally just a few days ago. I don't know where I was going. I just got into remote control helicopter hobbies, by the way. I think I was going to pick one of those up. I know it's ridiculous, but it's amazing. Shout out to an amazing guy called Tariq, who is Emirati, who was specialized in flying helicopters. Anyway, as I was driving, I was excited. I'm going to go pick up my remote controlled helicopter. And they're not a toy. These things can really like hurt you. They're made of metal. And anyway, so as I'm driving, I saw the Toyota building. That everybody knows. You know, I've never actually looked at it.
I look at it all the time.
I swear to God, I never like actually saw. So as I'm like, I actually looked at it and I saw like, the AC units being, you can tell they're from outside and like, the color of the place and even the places like the retail shops that are there, like who are they and blah, blah, blah. And it touched me. It touched me in a way where I'm like, So every video I've randomly seen in documentaries, social media, blah, blah, that's that building. That's what and it's still standing.
Yeah.
Like, I want to still be able to stand on my feet in the UAE, in Dubai, for a very, very long time. I want to be that Toyota building, right? I am, to an extent, that Toyota building. I mean, look, I'll tell you something. It's so silly, but I have both of my legs on top of each other right now. This leg was the broken one. There was once a time where it was my dream. Imagine how silly of a dream that is, to put this leg on top of this one,
that one.
without hurting.
Been there, done that.
And now I can. So, yeah.
So while we
That's the
talk
vibe.
about, while you alluded the question, to be honest, I'm going to give you points for that one. But let's flip the question then.
Yeah.
What does UAE expose in you? What does it clearly put out there? What does it expose? What does it strip you off?
It puts out the insecurities that shouldn't be there, because it champions goodness and innovation. So whatever I am not okay with myself, UAE and Dubai, of course, puts you in the mindset to overcome these things. And no one really cares about anybody here. But that's what makes it so unique, is that you've got 200 nationalities, right? So people come and go. It is an airport as much as a city, or Dubai International Airport. It is more or less in itself. So it really puts out the things that you need to do better of yourself, with yourself, and to remember that you shouldn't really care about what others think.
So what mindset wins out here?
I would say the inability to have the confidence to build an audience initially is, to me, now gone. I'm excited about what's to come. And, I've had, without exaggeration, because the thing is, when you get on a podcast, when you get online, no one's going to fact check stuff. Most people won't. There's those guys who really like to fact check, go ahead. But there's a lot of people that don't. And I think with me, I've had well over maybe 200 people reach out to my Instagram account asking for advice or help. Some of them from the voiceover world, some of them from the music world, some of them from the life world. And, you can't really get back to 200 people plus. But I got back to a few, especially those that were super sweet and super kind to me. And, they really looked up to me. And
They
stuff
had the
like
heart
that.
emoji.
Yeah, a little bit more than that. But one of my favorite stories of why I should be a little bit more out there was when I was in a Zoom in Enoch after fueling my car. I was fueling my car. I went inside to, I think, get a coconut water. And as I'm coming outside, there was a woman and a man who were Lebanese. And the woman was like, sorry. And I looked and I'm like, yes. And she's like, are you Ahmad Haffar? And I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, oh my, she started panicking. I'm like, what's going on? Like, people usually like, hey, are you Ahmad Haffar? Oh, awesome. Can I hear a voice? Can I take a photo? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sure.
Nah, you don't get the photos. Don't lie.
I do.
I
I
don't lie.
genuinely.
I mean, apart from your girlfriend, no one's asking for your photos, mate.
There's been a lot of occasions, but fair.
Listen,
But,
okay, so while we talk about that mindset that talks about winning, in your opinion, who do you think is struggling the most in the city?
I think those that are stuck between the thinking and the doing, that middle part, where they're thinking about doing something, but they're not doing it.
Do you have a mirror in front of you? By
Yes.
Can we get him some water, please?
Wow, Jigar. Wow. I'm the one who's not doing.
Nah, you're on the right track.
I'm
I mean,
doing everything in my human power for it. I mean,
I hear you, man. I hear you. I mean, I was
That was
talking about
funny,
the
though.
struggling.
That
part,
was
right?
funny.
I mean, listen, I think that's where the challenge is, that people think doing comes without struggling. And that's my question. My question was, who do you think is struggling, right? And
The ones that are trying to do.
exactly.
The
And
ones
if, you're
that
not
are
even if you're not even bothering to do it, you're not struggling. I mean,
Absolutely.
Okay, moving on a much lighter note, right? Like, let's just fast forward into the future. Do you like the current version of yourself?
I like a good chunk of it.
So
wouldn't
what
say
are you
all of it,
chasing now?
I would say I want to be I want to be making more music, way more than I'm already doing. And I want to be doing movies. I think it's about time I graduate from sonic branding, music branding
But
to
why?
actual.
Why is Hollywood the
Because
next step for you?
because I can. Because I'm meant for it. Because I feel melodies in a way that is physically impossible to explain. And I don't care about other people
Yeah,
and what they go through.
but in today's day and age, and you sort of touched upon it earlier in our conversation, a little bit about AI. Um,
Nah.
do you see AI as a threat?
No.
I
Look,
mean, when you're talking creativity, right? I mean, now that's the question.
I absolutely don't see AI a threat in that sense. Like, okay, in Mindloop, I can show you 20 emails right now of us selling AI voiceover. Okay? We have talents. We have real people, 600 of them actually.
Okay.
More than 600. But we're also now selling AI. English, Arabic, German, Polish. I don't even know what languages. I have the emails, but we're doing that now. Why? Why is Mindloop doing that? Because we're going with the times. And we're not just using things like 11 Labs or whatever. No, we're going in, we're mixing stuff, we're
So,
using
what is it
multiple
in your
platforms.
business that AI can't really replace? Because mixing and this and that AI can do.
Human emotions.
Right.
There is no way on planet Earth that AI can replace a talented director or editor's vision of a video or a composer's vision of a melody that doesn't like. I write well above 20 melodies a week just for myself. I put them in a little bank. It's like having a safe at home with money in it. I have a safe in my mind for melodies, okay? So if I'm sitting down with, let's say, Bismillah, one day very soon, Christopher Nolan, okay? And he's talking about a movie. And I want to pitch him, I want to make the music for the movie. Someone will be like, you pitching to Christopher Nolan? You must be insane. No, I'm not. I did the global music of Kellogg's and Taj and Aramex and others. What, was I insane there too? I am heard by 500 million plus. Was I insane too? No, I wasn't.
Well,
So
I mean, you weren't insane for doing it, but the question over here is more to do with there are a lot of things that needed you to be
Yeah.
done back in the day,
Yes.
which no longer requires you. And that's the reality, and you have to accept it.
I agree, but the best part is still there. The part of creation, utter creation.
Okay, so great. So I think that's the crux of it, right? So the
Yes.
fact that you're a creator, you love to create, you made a business out of creation.
And FYI, don't want to stop you here. I adore this guy, so I'm not gonna say. AI has raised our prices. Us creators,
Yeah.
us artists, we are now more bespoke. We are now more valued because AI can make a cheap version of us. Yes.
Okay, so who are you as an individual? Whether you want to touch upon who are you as the talent, or who are you as the business person, or who are you as a human being, that's your choice. Who are you 10 years from today?
Someone who is going to create a lot more. Someone who's very focused on creating and innovating.
Is creation enough?
I have no idea, man. All I know is
Because you could sit in your
there is a
you
need
could
for
sit on
it.
your studio, keep creating all day long, and no one gets to hear it.
This is the funny part. More or less actual products or actual melodies or actual productions are never created unless they had a purpose. So I play music, I don't record it. That's the main difference. A lot of people ask me, and I do mean a good chunk of people, especially friends and family and my girlfriend. Like my girlfriend, for example, when she hears me playing something that she loves, she literally runs and presses on the record button to make sure that it's being recorded because she knows I'm not going to record it. Like recently, I played a piece. I'll never forget this. I played a piece. I don't even remember it, by the way. And I was trying like to follow like this melody idea I was working with. And at the end of it, her face was like this lady, and you've met her, she's not the one to just compliment you randomly. She doesn't care if I come up with
I
the
think
next.
that's just with you.
I think that's just with me, yes. Like even if I come up with the
Oh,
next.
mate, we don't want to compliment you. I mean, we compliment you. You compliment yourself enough.
I do compliment myself enough.
Okay,
That's
and
true.
that's not a bad thing, right? Like
I
we've
agree.
agreed,
It
we've
is not.
discussed, and we've
But
agreed that.
she, at that moment, she said, Ahmad, for everybody, not just for me and you, but for all of humanity, you need to record that. And when I pressed on record to do it, because she asked me to, I never got it the exact same way the first time. There was like a split. Like if instead of going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm not explaining it. It was outworldly. Here's what I believe. I am connected, and this is the delusional part, but it's also true. I am connected to a stream of consciousness that is beyond this plank of existence. That's where I get my musical melodies from. And it is literally transferred from the cosmos to my brain on demand, on request. It is basically the equivalent of ordering something from Deliveroo. I order a melody from Xena, which is all the way another plate of existence. That's how I come up with my
I think
melodies.
that's a lie, because if that was the case, then we wouldn't have something called skills. And I think you're discounting the attribution of skill. You're discounting the value of a skill, because when you talk about talent, it's actually just nothing else but someone who is skilled,
Yeah.
practiced it,
Yeah.
and practiced it,
Yeah.
and practiced it, and practiced it, and then mastered it. And that's what talent is.
I agree.
You can say whatever you want to say about the thing comes from here or from this planet or wherever the hell in the universe you want it to be. But I also know that the fact remains is that maybe that's your way of keeping competition away. You can be better than him. You can be better than me. You can be better than anyone
better than
else
anybody.
out there.
Absolutely.
All you got to
Yes.
do is pick up your skill and practice and practice and practice and practice.
And do something that matters. What this man is doing, the reason why he's getting guests like me, and he's gonna get many other people way more important than me and way cooler than me, is because he's actually doing it for you. Allow me to say something about him as an actual friend of his. He puts most of his work today, after all of his achievements, to help you. He puts consistent reels out there. He plans months ahead, shoots and edits and all of that, literally designed to help you, to support you. He doesn't monetize on you, and he probably won't, because God gave him a lot, and he gave him skills that are very easy to say you can do, but extremely hard to actually apply. So follow Jigar Sagar, because he has the ability to put you in a mindset that is going to help you for a very long time, not for a short period of time. I'll make you a piece of music that will help you convince that girl who's been avoiding you to marry you, okay? I'll make something that good and that beautiful. But this guy, he'll make sure that you can afford the best wedding out there. And that's why you should follow this guy.
Thank you. And at that, I'm going to jump into something we call a rapid fire round. So I'm going to pull out my questions.
All right.
And I hope you understand what rapid means, right?
I'll do my best.
It's just making sure, just checking, because you might be in your Delulu world,
The other universe, I keep
the other
talking about the
universe,
music.
thinking about I don't know, some tune coming in.
As he's talking, I just came up with another melody, because by the way, this is how I come up with my stuff. So you hear the intro and spark or whatever that I've created, they actually do fall. Whatever he says, don't listen to him. That part, listen to me. It does actually airdrop into my brain, okay?
I don't believe
Yeah,
it.
yes, it does.
He's lying
At least
to
in
you.
the past 5 to 6 years.
He's lying to you.
It's
He's
just
keeping
the-
his competition away. I've taught him well.
Look at this, look at this. I don't know why, but as you continue to end a sentence, he brings softness to the table. Think about it, like, that's the kind of softness that this guy brings. I'm gonna put this
Okay.
away. I'm gonna put
You
this away.
can put it away, but we'll need it in a while. But for now,
okay.
short answers, no thinking, straight from the heart.
Go ahead.
One belief about success that's wrong.
You have to work really, really hard.
Talent or discipline.
Discipline.
There you go. Mentorship in one line.
They listen.
Self-doubt or ego.
Self-doubt.
One mistake that changed everything.
Having a heart.
Ooh, passion or consistency.
Consistency.
Most overrated thing in creative industry.
Ego.
Most underrated.
Passion.
One habit that changed your life.
Sleeping early.
AI, threat or tool.
Both.
Your journey in one word.
Exemplary.
One word for what's next.
More than exemplary.
One word.
Phenomenal.
Right. I want you to pick up your phone, and we're going to say some words, and you're going to play the melody that comes to your mind.
Ooh, I love that. Do I stick to piano or do you think it needs a different type of instrument?
Am
Piano's
I the
enough?
creative brain
Okay,
out
yeah,
here?
you're not. Okay, fine.
But you just pick one because
Okay, I'm gonna stick to
you're gonna
piano.
swap.
I'm gonna stick to
I'm gonna
piano.
throw
Okay,
words
fine.
and you're gonna
Okay.
play them.
I'm
Okay.
gonna try. All right, here we
Right.
go.
Entrepreneur. Hustle. Legacy. Dubai.
Not allowed.
Right. UAE.
One of the only pieces I know how to. I taught myself to play, even though I don't like to play other people's music. Anyway, go ahead.
Proud. Right.
I put it away.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can put it away. Listen, like you saw, he makes it look like it comes from somewhere. The reality is, there's a lot of talent which came through a lot of practice and discipline.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Okay. Before we end, I want to understand a little bit more about the heart, the soul that you have very easily masked throughout this whole podcast. Right? And a part of what I thought I was going to ask you, but that's the honest truth. So, who are you below that mask? Who is Ahmed? You're not doing this for social media. You're not doing this for the podcast. You're doing this to reveal to the world who you are. Because we walk around with a face, right? We walk around with a character we play in lives. But who's the guy behind it?
When I was 14 or 15, maybe less, my dad got me this little remote controlled helicopter. It was like this big. The ones I'm buying today are like professional grade, blah, blah, blah. Back then it was just a little toy. Can go up, do like that. My dad took me to this park next to our house. And we walked there from my house to the park. Now, where I come from, that's a luxury, yeah? And we walked there, and I've never flown a helicopter in my life. My dad gave me a controller, and he's like, all right, buddy, go for it. And then I did the thing a little bit, and then started really spinning. I did a little bit up, flew all the way, and it bashed straight into a tree. And my father's investment lasted a total of 2.5 seconds. My dad looked me straight in the eye, and to him, genuinely, that was expensive, especially at the time. He looked me straight in the eye and he said, so, crispy chicken for dinner? And I said, yeah. And he held my hand while we were crossing the street while I'm holding the remainders of this helicopter. My dad was like, okay, throw it in the garbage. I threw it in the garbage because we're not allowed to, leave anything on the ground ever. That's what I love about my dad. And my dad was like, he saw me clearly sad. So, that's why he took me to get crispy chicken, which is one of my favorite things to eat is crispy chicken. Then he's like, my dad's a bit of a poet, like an actual poet. He's a French poet, but he does Arabic as well. And he looked at me and he said, nothing in life that you can hold and hold again is worth being sad about. It is only those that you hold now that there will come a time you cannot hold that you should actually hold dear immediately. Again, I'm a kid. And I held my dad's hand even tighter. Now, my father is a bit sick today. I don't know how long he'll still be with us, but I think about him a lot. And who I am is someone who told my father when I was around 13, 14 that I'm gonna make music and I'm gonna be one of the best on this planet when I was literally a kid. And my dad said, you go for that. My mom was laughing, not laughing, but get back to your homework. When I performed the first time in Beirut, when I was like 16 and a half, and I called my dad and I'm like, turn on your TV. It's gonna be your son on stage with his guitar over a composition that he created. It was my dad who was like, maybe he does have a potential here. Today, my dad's my biggest fan. I recently did, like, for example, Arab Bank. Arab Bank has, 2,000 branches? People don't know this, but my music plays in all of them. When you call them, that's my music. Social media, that's my music. That's mine. That's the signature. Anyway, so my dad has an Arab Bank account, and he went to Arab Bank to get some money. And, he knows about this. My mom was with him, and then she calls me later in the day. She actually leaves me 2 missed calls on WhatsApp, which could only mean something seriously wrong or I haven't spoken to her in a day. And if I don't answer, she's calling the literal police in Dubai, which I also happen to voice, which is, weird if she hears me while asking about me, right? So I call and she's like, oh, your father's crying. Like, hi, how are you, mother? Like, what do you mean? Like, can you get to the point? She's like, oh, no, he just heard the music you did for Airbank. And, it took him a minute, but then when he immediately realized that's actually my son, he bursted. And I haven't seen your dad cry like that in over 20 years. And I'm like, God damn. That's who I am, man.
So behind all of that, there is an emotional.
Yeah.
I
Where do you
wouldn't.
think the
I
music
wouldn't
comes-
say emotional.
Where do you think the music
food.
comes from?
It comes from the emotions, right? It comes from the emotions. It comes from a place deep down, which is not dark. Actually, it's very bright. We spoke about your talent, right? People haven't seen your struggle. We spoke about the cars you drive and the wealth you are at and the
cares
things like
about
that,
that stuff,
right?
man?
Well, I mean, you did at the point.
I did it at a point because I didn't have it, because I wanted it and I didn't have it. And then I realized, meeting you, someone who is an actual like net worth of 100 million plus, there are very few people like you on planet Earth. Sure, I'm worth a bit, but I'm not even 5% you.
But it's all
literally.
about comparing.
I know, but that's the point, is that you made me realize that. Like, see, I knew it. Sure, I knew it logically. I knew it in my head. I knew it didn't matter. You metasized it. You took it from a mental metaphor note to a physical, realistic element. Your staff, your colleagues, your family, your incredible wife, your amazing kids. You are truly an icon on all fronts because you are not evil. You have the money to fund the most evil thing in company that you can make zombies. Fund zombies. Be
Why?
Resident Evil because you have the money. Be Resident
that's
Evil
what
real
money
life.
is meant
Be
for.
Resident Evil real life. Okay, go
Mate,
make the T virus.
Money is a tool to
Exactly.
spread happiness. It is
Yeah,
a very
Habibi,
powerful tool.
You know what I love about you, and I also laugh about, is that you forget how absolutely delusional most of the planet is in the sense of money. Meaning, anybody who has your money, any average person has your money, would not be you. For you, it's like, I have 100 million, so what? Like, to you, it's so what? But to most people, they think like, oh, what can I do for that for me? Look, you built this entire room. Look, his branding is here. His branding is here. He sits on the red one. Guests sit on the black. It's on this. It's even on the thing. You see this thing? It's even on the coaster. Like,
Yeah, but that's just me. I like
No,
I like the
that's not
style. I
just
like
you.
fashion. I like something to be in a proper way. I believe in the purpose of branding.
Not only that, any person who I would enter their room, who has their name splattered out like that everywhere, even if it's potentially me one day, as an entrepreneur, as a mentor myself to other people, because we have to give back, I would be like, oh, this guy's much. He's a lot. He's way too much. It's giving too much. But with you, it's the opposite. It's he deserves this, he deserves that, he deserves... Again, maybe I'm the most biased guy on the planet because I actually care about my friend, but I've seen your struggles through your past. See, that's the thing about being an artist. You can see a lot, and I can see a lot. And you may see all the BS in me, which is totally there, and I agree. But you also see everything real in me that is undeniable, unshiftable. I do the same with you in a different way. So it's not just about, money not being important, being important. No, it is a route, it is a tool, it is a set of safety, it is a set of growth. And do I love making it? Absolutely. But I refuse to make it any other way than doing what I love.
Listen, I'm going to end it by saying what most people are going to see is talent and success, but that's not the whole journey.
No, it is not.
And on that note, can you please do us the honors of ending this podcast in your signature style?
Would be my honor. Thank you for asking. Ladies and gentlemen, the show is now over. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and please tune in for every single show on this incredible podcast, because you never know who's going to be sitting in the seat. You never know what the topic will be, how exciting the questions will be, and how important all of it can help guide you and push your career, your mindset, and your skill set forward. Jigar Sagar is not just a man here to give back, but he's a man who's qualified to give back. So yeah,
Thank you, buddy.
it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Listen, thank you. Thank you for being here, and it's been a pleasure having you.
It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure, and I'm really happy that people get to see your smile in every single one of these shows, because he worked a lot on his teeth, and I'm happy to see that return of investment going back to your brother.
Have no veneers in here. Zero. It's just brushing two times
A little
day.
bit of banter at the end of the
It's,
show,
it's
guys.
just brushing.
I
two
gotta
times
go
a day.
back to my natural friendly self with him. Khalas, the interview is
All right,
done.
cut.
Cut.